Hi everyone, this is Megan, Monica, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you are not, welcome back. Yes. So we have a lot of people that ask to come and see the farm in person, and we obviously live in Largo. This is Megan's backyard, so we can't have people running in and out of the house. So basically, this is going to be our farm tour video for you guys to see. So yeah, that was one of the stipulations in them letting me have this, is that I can't have tours, but I can put it on YouTube for you guys. So it's been quite a while since we did one. I don't even know if it's still up, honestly. I think we did one like right when we opened, like 2-3 years ago. Yeah. Or when we opened this building. So when we first walk in, what do we see? So we have a sterilizer. That's our Bubba's Barrels sterilizer, and we love it. And then you move on over to our pellet corner, where we have our hardwood sawdust pellets and our soybean hull pellets. That's what we use as far as our master's mix goes. Usually you would see it's stacked up to here and here. That's because our new shipment of soy hulls we're going to be picking up on Saturday. So we are rather low, but it's because there was a bit of an issue getting them in the first place. So we also have our mixer here. This is what we use to mix up our batches. Obviously you can just do it in the tub, and we have a lot of weight and a lot of stuff to move around, so this makes it a lot easier for us, and it can make it a lot easier for you too. This is just a quick little organizational area we put up. Obviously it could be better, but this is ours. We have just easy stuff like, trash bags, peroxide or alcohol, cleaning products of all kinds, little doodads here and there. Gloves. So obviously you can see the bleach, and we have some paper towels in the corner as well as some sanitary wipes. As you can see, this is our plenum box. This little area has an air conditioner built into the inside of it, which pumps fresh air into our grow room at the temperature we need it to be at. So this is our little water spigot area. We kind of made this to fill our barrels. Just makes it easier to water as well, because our grow room is directly right here. So we can turn it on and fill up the bucket for our humidifier right there. We don't have to do much. We can also fill buckets of water for batching as well. Really easy, not having to use a hose or anything. And no farm is complete without their big whiteboard to write every random thing down that you will probably and most likely forget. So we use this to write down anything that we need. Literally our conversions of how much substrate, how much water for however much we're doing on that day. We have our to-do lists and all of that lovely stuff. Okay, so moving right along, this is our inoculation area. If you saw earlier in the video, our windows and our doors are completely blacked out, and that's because these things like darkness. It's a mushroom farm. So whenever we're not actively in here doing something, the lights are turned off and these things are inoculating. That means we put the spawn in there, which I'm going to show you, into the substrate once we sterilize it in the sterilizer, and then for 2 weeks to a month, depending on the strain, they sit here and they basically get to the point where we can put them in the fruiting room, cut them, and they're ready to go. All right, if you follow me in here into our lab, I'll give you a little overview. So this is obviously our racks. We put our mushroom sterilized blocks on here. We can move them around depending on how many we need in here. We can fit up to 6, but we never really let them sit in here that long. So 3 is fine for us. I think the max that we can put on these 3 shelves is probably 60, 65, 70 if we're stacking it up here. But we don't want to be in here too long, because we can't have an AC in here because it makes the contamination worse. And it gets pretty hot because it's Florida. And even with a HEPA filtered intake, it still gets really warm in here. So this is our lab area. Everything is a surface for contamination or dust and something else that you have to clean extensively every single week. So down here we have things like cleaning supplies, a speaker so that we have something to listen to while we're in here, gloves, just everything has a purpose, and if it doesn't, it's got to go out. So this right here is something that we got sick of the tabletop sealers. I think we had 3, and we kept replacing the strips, we kept trying, and it just was awful. So we went ahead, bit the bullet, and bought this big thing, and it's the best thing that we've ever done. As you can see, it has a little foot pedal here, and it's hands-free. We don't have to do anything. We put the bag up under there, pull it, and then it does it by itself. So that is absolutely wonderful. And honestly, that's it. Like, we don't have anything to show you in here, but let's see. Can you grab a bag of spawn for me? Just right behind you. So the spawn, that's what we add into the substrate bags once it's sterilized. And it's just, let's see if you can see it. It's grains. So they have wheat berries, they have any kind of grain, Milo that you can get, you can put mushroom mycelium onto, and it's called spawn. So I think that covers it. I'm rambling at this point, but yeah, let's move on to the grow room. Time for the fruitiger. All right. So right here is our fogger. So this stays in here. We did have it outside, just pumping in from the big long tube, and it was a hassle. Basically, it has to work much, much harder, and it just stayed dry in here, so that's what we did, and it works perfectly. Also for humidity, we have this little thing up here. I don't know if you can see it. It is a timed fogger. So we bought a fogger, a Fogget nozzle, and put it onto a timer. I think it's not an Inkbird. Anyway, it's a timer. Watering timer. Yeah. And then this is the Fogget nozzle. It's got 3 little tiny nozzles. It goes on the end of just a regular garden hose. Right. So we got that on Amazon, and I want to say specifically that the misting ones are not good enough. It's not a small enough particle. It has to be a Fogget nozzle. The water particles will sit on the mushrooms, and they will go bacterial, or they will, morph and have weird mutations on the caps, or it will straight turn the mushrooms brown, like the lion's mane. Yeah, so right now what we're growing is Italian oysters. We have some golden oysters that we're starting just before the summer break goes on. We also have some lion's mane and a little bit of chestnut going on. Lion's mane. I don't know if we do still have some blues left. Yes, we do. They're all up here. Blue oysters as well. So chestnut is very different from a lot of the other ones. They take a lot longer in order to inoculate. So as you can see, it's kind of like a brown, and it's not even done on this side on some of them. It takes so long. So basically these take a lot longer in order to inoculate, and they also take a lot longer to grow once you put them in the grow room. You cut them, or you open the tops like this, you split the top, and after about 3 weeks you'll see little babies forming, and it takes up to a week for them to fully grow. So I just want to show you the difference. These chestnuts are like freckled chestnuts, and I'll pop a little picture in up here for you of what they look like. You can grow them inside of the bag in here. They like CO2, or you can cut the front and just make sure there's like a little area for the CO2 to build up. Yeah, just a little close up of the babies. Here are little baby chestnut mushrooms. Just tiny, and you can see they're in this line that we cut, and they'll just grow right from that line. Basically, it was exposed to oxygen. So. Right. All right, if you want to see our little fogger just turned on, that's what it looks like. And when you turn the fan on, it blows it everywhere. So, anything else you want to touch on in here? These cords up here that are running all along, I think I've said it in a different video, but this is for anything in the back. Right now, all we have is the fan and the exhaust. Yes. So, yeah, and we didn't have an exhaust for probably like 6 months because the positive pressure was so strong in here, and we just opened it up. And we have a little thing that opens and closes as it needs to. And all we had is lion's mane. I think it's a little easier to deal with as far as the CO2. It was fine, nothing wrong. So yeah, saved us a little bit of electricity not having to use the exhaust fan for a little while. So exactly, save a little here, save a little there. Yep. I think that's it. Like, yeah. Honestly, every time we do a video, it's kind of like really quick, but that's because we have a very small farm and it's pretty straightforward. Everything is on timers, as you can see up here. This is like our control panel for humidity and temperature. Everything is plugged in and everything does it by itself. What we do is the physical labor. We have to obviously harvest the mushrooms, mix all this stuff, do the lab work, all of that. So the grow room is a breath of fresh air. So yeah. All right, I think that's it for today. If you guys have anything you want to say or any suggestions for information that you need, put it down in the comment section. Like, subscribe, share. Anything that you do really helps us and we really appreciate it. Yes, we do. Thank you for watching our tour. See you next time.